What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about MicroStrategy today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. We had a rather big day, and it doesn't seem like it was that big of a day. We only moved up 2.1% to start off this week, but I think that was a rather big day because what we got was a green close. And if you remember yesterday in the game plan video, while I was expecting that we would open up to the downside a little bit and then come back up to close the day green, while that was the expectation, I'm okay with us not going lower first and then coming up. That's totally fine. The reason why we wanted the day to close green was because that would promote this idea of a bounce off of the 40 on the RSI, right? Higher lows coming up here. Bouncing off the 40, you guys, is normally a very strong signal. Just like rejecting off of the 60 area can be a strong signal to the downside. So I'm excited for what this brings. I very much do believe that we're going to get things going here this week. I strongly suspect that by the end of the week, MicroStrategy will be above $400. This could be the week that we're even reaching for 445 and beyond. However, I do believe next week, if we were to break out above these highs here, I think that would be reserved probably for next week's candle, right? Next week's price action likely gets there. Also, on that note, isn't it next week? Yes, next week we don't have Monday. Monday is inoperable day. So and remember that this week here, what is it? Thursday or Friday, the 13th or 14th. Remember what day that is, gentlemen out there. Anyways. $334.62 right now. Likely we do continue to move up. I think that we will be above $400 by the end of this week. If we look at the relative high to the relative low there, the golden ratio is actually right at this zone. It's perfect. It's literally right there. Totally perfect. From a high to low of our most recent correction, high to low there, the 1272 is right in that area. The 1618 is all the way at the 786, giving a possibility that we could bypass the golden ratio zone here and actually go up to this 1618 to top off there. So something between, I would say, 425 to 473 is where I expect this kind of relative move to take place and happen. It could be that this week you begin this move up, and then next week you finish this move at the top there, and then you consolidate or whatever for the beginning of March and continue to progress higher. I do suspect that by the end of February, we likely will be at, if not above, 473, right? I'm thinking we will be closer to $500 or more by the end of February, but time will tell. We'll see how that goes. At any rate, I definitely expect this week we're going to be moving up to 424. If we look at MSTR, we look at this guy here. We definitely piled on some call options today with our open interest. Let's see. And that's fine, right? That's totally fine. Our put to call ratio for this week is 0.62. And we're already opening up to a kind of a good start. If we look at BTC here, BTC USD, I am expecting that Bitcoin still could go lower, but you never know, man. Just because I'm expecting Bitcoin to go down to 92.5K, 93.5K, somewhere in that zone, it doesn't mean it has to. To me, it very clearly looks like that we want to go down, but we could go up from here, man. And if Bitcoin keeps going up, I don't care what the put to call ratio is. MicroStrategy is going to go up with it, man. It's definitely going to go up with it. What I thought was interesting that today, at the end of the day, our put to call ratio for next week's expiration, it actually increased, which means more puts got put on today for this expiration, or at least more calls got taken off, some kind of combination or one or the other of that. So it's kind of interesting that we open up the week positive, and yet you see more puts gaining ground on this put to call ratio here, but nothing too crazy. It's still near a 1, so that's pretty neutral all in all to say. There are a lot more puts open versus longs or calls. I was going to say there are, but actually it looks like that's bigger red, but actually there's more calls, so never mind that. There's definitely more calls open for this month, which gives me a little bit of hesitation to say how much we will grow, but I am expecting, I don't think that we'll be at new highs by the end of this month. I think that we will be around $500, 473, something like that, and then going into March, going into the middle of March, end of March, I think we'll be reaching for those targets at $800, $900, $1,300 is kind of the highest that I would expect. I personally am thinking that we break above $1,000 in March. It's gonna happen. It's just taking its sweet time doing it. We'll get that confirmation, or at least more of an acknowledgement of that look, if we can get above this high by the end of this week and start seeing prices back above $400. I've got nothing else for you guys, right? We're looking like we got a nice bounce off the daily RSI here. The last time that we bounced off the 40 area, I mean, did we even... Not really. I mean, kind of here, but it didn't merit anything. This bounce actually mattered more. A lot of these bounces like to come lower, so maybe that's a case that we could, instead go lower this week, and then maybe next week we try to go higher. But either way, man, be prepared, right? If we go lower, no big deal. I want to say that actually right now too, right? If we don't go higher by the end of this week and we go lower instead, no big deal. It's the same targets as it was here, as it was here, as it was here. It's the same targets, but instead of it happening now, it happens at a later date, right? It's all going to happen whenever it's meant to happen. But if we go lower, if prices go even below $300, I wouldn't be too concerned. I think all that means is not that those targets are off the table. It just means they're pushed back to a later date. They're on hold for a moment. That's all. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Look for a break above $445. That price alone, or that signal alone, would suggest that we are on our way to $1,000 or more. That's my thoughts. Take it easy, you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.